Welcome back to Light Talk, where everyday people can share their own unique spiritual journey stories with a safe and supportive community. If you have a story you would like to share, email lighttalk423@gmail.com. And while you're at it, click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. All right, let's get started. We have a fabulous guest for you today. She's going to have some amazing stories for you. So, handing the mic over to you. Go for it.
Thank you, Dana. So first of all, welcome. It's really lovely to be here. I am a channel, so I channel divine beings of light and light. And I also channel frequency, that is love and light. And sometimes the frequency comes through in light language, which is just a form of light and love. And sometimes it comes through in sound and in English. And so as I speak, I am channeling. As I speak, information's coming through and frequencies coming through for you. So where that fits into this particular kind of podcast or interest that you all have and are kind of really interested in is to understand that other side, to really understand what it is that's happening in the other realms, and those realms of consciousness where you don't see, or we don't see quite so easily. Now, some people do have what we call maybe the gift of sight. They may call themselves psychics, or they may have opened their third eye deliberately to be able to see. And then also what is happening and coming through so much in the talks that and the experiences that people on the show are sharing and have shared is almost like very profound kind of seeings of what's happening in the other realms or in the galactic planes. So we would say they are kind of monumental, life-changing events that happen to those individuals. And to have them shared on a talk like this can be really, really helpful, because it really says this is normal. This is out there. This is how the universe, the multiverse, is operating. That you're not alone in many respects. And where we step in, and so at the moment, when we say we would let you know that we are a being in light, and we are speaking with Catherine through Catherine. So she hasn't disappeared. She's with you. And it's like a co-creation. It's like we're having a very instantaneous internal conversation with her, and she with us to speak and to bring through what's going to really work here in this container. And part of what we're really doing and now is, rather than telling the story, we're actually we're in the moment with you. So in essence, rather than Catherine kind of describing what it's like to see us, she's more chosen, and we have chosen as a co-creation to kind of demonstrate it, to be bridging that plane of consciousness, which you call the higher realms, which we just call other dimensions, and bridging that earth plane dimension, so that you can actually hear us. You're having the experience right now of that which you have listened to, the stories that you have listened to of other people having the experience of either seeing, hearing, or just knowing that those other dimensional realities, and seeing beings. You are now having the experience through this medium, through Catherine, of a interaction with a spiritual being, myself, Thoth, who is on the other side, or what you call the other side. In essence, you're on the other side as well. It's just that you're not so much aware of it. And we are participating in the earth plane in different ways. So what we're also hearing is we're hearing like a few individuals asking, like, what's it like for Catherine to have this experience? Because for her, it's a normal day, like it's a very everyday for her. She's with us every day. Every day. So, and we're always there, and she can always tune into us. And so what's it like to have that experience of having that communication so dialed in, so constant? And for her, we would say it's like having access to a stream of consciousness that takes her into a place where she feels very at peace, very kind of like able to tap into wisdom, so able to operate at a level which you might call what many people call guided, but what we would say is more being able to tap into her inner wisdom in a way that is amplified. So what she knows inside becomes even more crystal clear. And then for when, you know, when she's working in this way, because this is her life, this is what her work is designed around, and is essentially doing this with other individuals to help individuals find their true sense of self. It just enables a greater depth of wisdom, a greater depth of insight, a greater depth of understanding, a greater depth of compassion that she can bring to the table and that she experiences inside herself. And then the other question we're hearing on the planes is that, you know, what about guidance? And so, yes, we are here to guide, but in essence, really, 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 this level of experience of being together is really, it's like having a relationship. So when you have a relationship, when you're with a friend, sometimes you get kind of like insights. You go, aha, yeah, now I get that. Or something inside yourself just shifts or changes. Or you're with a practitioner or a therapist, or, you know, whatever it is that you do, whether you're at a dance party or you're just having a social drink with someone. These are all places and spaces where you're in relationship. We would say that you're in relationship all the time. You're in relationship with yourself. You're in relationship with others. You're in relationship with those things that are on the Earth star, that things like the water, the earth, the mountains, in relationship with the objects in your home. You're always in relationship. And we would say that out of relationship, that enables you to anchor in the wisdom that you naturally have inside you, to turn it on, to recognize it. And so for Catherine, when she's with us in this way, it's like a relationship. There are things in her that turn on. There's wisdoms in her, and other places and spaces her heart turns on. All of that gets ignited through this experience. So then her experience of being with us and channeling in this way enables her to feel a deep, 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 deep sense of peace. And then we're hearing a question on the higher planes, or from the audience, of like, can anyone do this? And yes, anyone has access to this. Everyone has access to being a channel. Every single individual on the Earth star. And that is because you're all multidimensional. You're all operating, or you all have parts of your other aspects of yourself that operate in these other places and spaces. So yes, you all have that ability. And many of you will be channeling without realizing it. So what you call listening to your intuition is a form of channeling your own higher self, your own higher wisdom. So we're going to pause here because we wonder whether Dana has something that she wants to add in, or a question that she'd like to ask, or a direction she'd like us to go in.
I would like to know, what type of channeling are you doing at this point?
So at the moment, we don't have a name for it. So we know that there are different names. There's, I don't know, there's full body channel, there's no. So channeling is very unique. It's very specific for the individual. So we've described it as a co-creation. So Catherine is present and we are present. That's the best way of describing what sort of channel, to answer that question, because yeah, it doesn't really fit into a box, unfortunately. I hope that answers your question.
No, that's fine. That's great. So how does it feel for Catherine and you to be in the same body?
So
it's to be co-creating.
To be co-creating. It's very resonant. Now we know that there is a lot of information out there yeah, there's so many different views. So for Catherine, it is, like we said, very peaceful, very loving, very easy. For us, it's like we are light. So it's like we bring our light into the physical body. It's not like we are a solid, like if you think of us as light, then that might make more sense. So we are light streams of consciousness. So our light streams of consciousness enter into Catherine's system, and through that process, we can channel, and she can. It's in a way, there's a kind of a translation system in her body that she just knows, where she can create, where she can interpret the light that's coming through into English. So that's why it's so much of a co-creation, it's so much of a relationship, because we have 50% of it and she has 50% of it, and together we manifest this. Yeah, it's instantaneous, so it's happening in the moment. So there's no kind of process that she has to go through in order to do it. It's something that happens very naturally for her. And what we would say is part of the reason it happens so naturally for her is that she has been a channel in many, 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 many lifetimes. So this is a skill and a mastery that's been built up over eons of time, and also a relationship that's been built up over eons of time. So she is with me in the higher planes. We're working together on the higher planes as well as in the physical form. So it's not like this is me, just me coming from the higher planes to Catherine. We're also in co-creation on the higher planes, having conversations. So just as we say that everyone is multidimensional, you're all in essence living in all these other dimensions. It's simply becoming more aware of it and having a relationship with yourself in that way. Now we know that, you know, we're kind of cracking the box open a little bit on belief systems around channeling, but we feel that it's time to do that now.
So how easy is it for someone to get started to be able to channel? I mean, what type of process would you suggest?
Okay, so just let Thoth just kind of tune in a little bit to that question. So Thoth is stepping, like it's now more like 75% me and 25% Thoth, all that energy of Thoth. So he's kind of like guiding the conversation now, and he's saying, like, it's really, he's coming in a bit more strongly now. It's really up to the individual. I think why he's gone to the background a bit is because what he would say to this is it's about preparing your system or preparing yourself to invite the energy in. Yes, there is a degree of mastery. Yes, there is a degree of, we could say, almost technique. There is definitely a preparation. There is a preparation phase where certainly to channel this frequency of light. There is a definite preparation phase of personal work, just straightforward personal growth work, where you are really getting to know yourself, releasing limiting beliefs, activating parts of yourself that you might have forgotten, kind of getting your life set up so that you have the physical resources in place, you have a financial income stream, you have a home that you live in, you have community, you have those sorts of things in place. Because one of the things that's not talked about, to really, really, really be a channel of light and love, it is really important to be anchored on the Earth Star. Otherwise, it can, and Catherine has seen this years ago, not so much now, where individuals get kind of taken over and they don't realize it. And the reason for that is because they haven't anchored into the living reality of their life. They haven't anchored into the ordinariness of life on Earth. So we would say that's one thing, to make sure that that's in place. The second thing is there is a central channel that runs through the midline of the body, or you can think about it as the channel that is the, you know, has the 7 chakras and then the chakras above and chakras below. So information comes most easily at first through that channel. So having that channel both open and aligned. So when we say aligned, that channel can often be like this. It can be off. So it's making sure it's aligned and that the different energy centers are open. So that's another kind of preparation piece. The next piece is like you can like there are various techniques to practice, and those techniques involve going into meditation, calling in your higher self, and then asking to get downloads or messages from your higher self. And you some people listen, can hear more easily. Some people just simply know. Other people feel it. Other people hear it. So really, whatever is easiest for you, allow that to be the way that you receive information. So that's kind of another step that you can take, is to go into meditation, ask to receive information and receive it and write it down. Another technique is to what they call automatic writing. So you take a pen in your hand and you ask to connect into yourself, to connect into your higher self, or to connect into, choose an angel if you want, choose Archangel Michael, to connect into Archangel Michael and ask for a message. And you may have a question like, and ask, like it's good, like it's really helpful to ask questions like, you can ask questions like, what is my aligned next step? Or what internal shift am I needing to focus on for the next week that will support me in my life? Those sorts of questions. And then just allow whatever your hand writes, let it be. Or you can do like what we call like an open thing, like just, speak to me, what needs to come through. So those are all techniques. But we would say the preparation phase, how you live your life, how you do your personal work or personal growth or spiritual growth work, the spiritual practices you have in place, those are fundamental. Those are things that are really going to open you up to be the channel that you deeply desire to be. Does that answer your question?
Awesome. Yeah, that was great. That was great. Another question is, I hear some people getting confused between like tinnitus and possible messages coming through. Is that something or is that nothing? What is
All right. Yeah,
the thought?
we love that. We love that. Tinnitus, ringing in the ears, has become such a thing. Okay. So there are galactic beings. Yeah. So Thoth is more in the background. He's still here, but this is kind of a bit more my knowledge base as well. There are galactic beings, absolutely. I work with galactic beings. Like if I'm working more in a healing mode as opposed to a channel mode, they're very interrelated. But sometimes I'll shift more into kind of like more traditional healing. And so then I will work often with galactic beings, particularly the Arcturians. Is one of the ones that I've been working with for quite a long time. They will actually work on you. And they have worked on me quite a lot a while back, independently of any container. So you can call them in and ask for healing in particular places. When they're doing that, you may feel physical sensations like ringing in the ears. So that's one reason you can get ringing in the ears. If it's not, do get it checked out. Like if you've got ringing in the ears, check it out. See if it is tinnitus, because it can be. Like just don't just assume it's something spiritual, because it may not be. So that's the first thing. And often it isn't tinnitus. Often it is spiritual beings working on you. Now, messages. Is it messages? Is it spiritual beings trying to give you a message? We would say no. We would say, what? Yeah, we would say, like, yes, they're possibly spiritual beings opening up your channel so that you can hear. But if you're getting a message, you're going to hear a message. You're not going to hear ringing in your ears. They're pointless, completely pointless.
Wondered that because I have been told I have tinnitus, but I also kind of, it seems weird. It seems like a different thing. So I'm not sure if there's like, how do you tell the difference? I mean, is it a higher pitch or is it lower pitch? I mean, depends on the person.
I'm going to be really straight here. I don't know. I'm sorry. The jury's out.
It's all good.
It's all good. Like if I was working with you, if I was going, oh, let's tune in, then I would ask for guidance. I would tune in. I would use my vision to really look to see what's going on, to see if there are beings of light and light working with you. I mean, if I look very, very briefly, like I don't go in real deep, I think it's a combination. I think there is a physicalness about it that is related to tinnitus, but also, and then there is also beings of light working on you. But remember, every physical thing that we have, so every physical symptom we have, is the body telling us that something in our physical body is out of alignment, that the body is carrying something that it's not meant to carry. And so this is why we do the kind of more alignment or healing type work, is to help shift that which is not really us, or shift that which is not really meant to be with us, like a physical discomfort, and move it into light and love, or allow the light and love that's inherently there to shine through and heal it. Yeah. So it's an interesting question, because even if part of it's tinnitus and part of it's beings of light working with your ears, what's happening is you have called in kind of extraterrestrial help or galactic help or angelic help to help shift the energy in your physical body that's doesn't really belong to your physical body. It's not meant to be there. So in essence, it's kind of it's a both, it's an and then what you can do is you can go a little bit deeper and kind of go ask, like, okay, so what's this about? Like, where does it originate from? What is my physical body telling me that I'm holding perhaps in the emotional body, or holding in my thought processes, or holding from other lifetimes or other dimensions, that actually isn't serving me anymore, isn't going to be useful for me going forward? So it becomes also like an information pool at that level that you can start to do a deep inquiry into.
That's a different way I've been told. So that's great. I like that. I like the way you say that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah. Um, wow. Yeah, that's really, really wonderful. I'm just in awe. Well, I have enjoyed talking with you and Toth, and I would love to talk with you guys again if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, certainly. We'd be very happy to.
Yes, I would completely enjoy that. And yeah, I mean, just feeling this is just, I'm on high.
It's wonderful. That's wonderful. We've also enjoyed it too, and enjoyed talking to your audience. And we know some of your audience may be kind of like a little like, oh wow, like still jumping on board. And we would say, like, be gentle to yourself, nurture yourself, take from this what resonates, and leave what doesn't.
Yeah, I'm working on that myself right now. So yay. All right. Well, thank you both for being here. I so appreciate it. It's been a grand time. I tell you, it's been so awesome. And if anyone else out there in the audience have any stories you would like to share, please email lighttalk423@gmail.com. And don't forget to click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And we hope to see you two back with us. And thank you again for being with me. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.